The 30 Years' War was a war fought primarily in Central Europe between 1618 and 1648. It was one of the most destructive conflicts in human history, resulting in 8 million fatalities not only from military engagements but also from violence, famine, and plague. 20% of the total population of Germany died during the conflict. The war was preceded by the election of the new Habsburg Holy Emperor, Ferdinand II, who attempted to impose Roman Catholic absolutism on his domains, and the Protestant nobles of both Bohemia and Austria rose up in rebellion. The northern Protestant states banded together to form the Protestant Union. They also elected Calvinist Frederick V as the new king of the Kingdom of Bohemia. This angered the southern states, which were mainly Roman Catholic, and they, led by Bavaria, formed the Catholic League. The empire soon crushed the rebellion in 1620 in the Battle of White Mountain, and the leading Bohemian aristocrats were executed shortly after. After the atrocities committed in Bohemia, Saxony finally gave its support to the Protestant Union and decided to fight back. Sweden, at the time a rising military power, soon intervened in 1630, transforming what had been simply the emperor's attempt to curb the Protestant states into a full-scale war in Europe. Habsburg Spain, wishing to finally crush the Dutch rebels in the Netherlands and the Dutch Republic, intervened under the pretext of helping its dynastic Habsburg ally, Austria. No longer able to tolerate being surrounded by two major Habsburg powers, Catholic France entered the conflict on the side of the Protestants in order to counter the Habsburgs. The war ended in 1648 with the Treaty of Osnabrück and the Treaties of Münster, part of the wider Peace of Westphalia. The 30 Years' War rearranged the European power structure. France emerged from the war stronger, challenging Spain's supremacy during the Franco-Spanish War, which lasted from 1635 to 1659, and which ended with the Treaty of the Pyrenees, where Catalonia was divided between the two empires. The Dutch Republic ultimately benefited. It obtained independence from the Holy Roman Empire and also from Spain, thus concluding the 80-year revolt against Spain. The war resulted in increased autonomy for the constituent states of the Holy Roman Empire, limiting the power of the emperor and decentralizing authority in German-speaking Central Europe. For Austria and Bavaria, the result of the war was ambiguous. Bavaria was defeated, devastated, and occupied, but it gained some territory. Austria had utterly failed in reasserting its authority in the empire, but it had successfully suppressed Protestantism in its own dominions. The arrangements agreed upon in the Peace of Westphalia were instrumental in laying the legal foundations of the modern sovereign nation-state. Aside from establishing fixed territorial boundaries for many of the countries involved, it also changed the relationship of subjects to their rulers. Previously, many people had borne overlapping, sometimes conflicting, political and religious allegiances. Henceforth, the inhabitants of a given state were understood to be subject first and foremost to the laws and edicts of their respective state authority, not to the claims of any other entity, be it religious or secular. This in turn made it easier to levy national armies of significant size, loyal to their state and its leader, so as to reduce the need to employ mercenaries. The war also had more subtle consequences. It was the last major religious war in mainland Europe, ending the large-scale religious bloodshed accompanying the Reformation, which had begun over a century before. Other religious conflicts occurred until 1712, but only on a minor scale.